Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. The Ordinary are about to launch a $9 skin firming serum, and I already know that this is going to be the breakout viral skincare hit of 2026. So before it launches, I thought let's get ahead of all of the hype, the sponsorships, and the paid promotion, and let's take an independent look at this serum. Work out whether it's actually worthy of a place in our skincare routine, and whether it could elevate our anti-aging results, increasing firmness and elasticity. Sit back, relax, let's talk The Ordinary Firming Serum. Now, in today's video, I'm going to share with you my own experiences with this product, what I think to the formulation, the price point. We're going to cover it all, but I would also love to know what your own thoughts are. Is this the product that you're going to buy and try for your own skincare routine? If it is, let me know by reaching down into the comments and leaving the heart emoji. If you're somebody that feels that this just isn't going to work for you, maybe you're not excited by it and you're just not going to try it, again, let me know by leaving the cross emoji and state why. That way we can kind of use the comment section as a bit of a poll to see where the thoughts and opinions of the Mad About Skin community lie. I also just love to read your comments every single day and respond to them. It's one of my favourite times of the day, so thank you so much. Also, know that as always, this video isn't sponsored and it isn't in paid partnership. I pride myself on my independence, speaking from the heart and never the wallet. So if you appreciate truly independent skincare advice and reviews, the very best way of supporting me as an unbiased content creator is by reaching down and giving the video a big thumbs up and a like. The more likes a video gets, the more widely YouTube will distribute it on its platform. So it just means as many people as possible can discover our wonderful Mad About Skin family, and for that, I'm always so grateful. Now, without further ado, let's cut that waffle and delve straight on in. So the product in question, the full title is this. This is The Ordinary Caffeine 3% plus Escin 1% Face Serum. Now, The Ordinary make quite a few bold claims in their marketing literature, which I'm going to come on to later in the video. But this actually launches at the start of May internationally. But if you're watching this from the UK or Ireland, you can walk into a physical Boots store and pick this up. It's like a Boots exclusive until it launches internationally at the beginning of May. The Ordinary kindly reached out and asked me if I wanted to try this ahead of the launch. They said zero obligation. We can send you a bottle, give it a go, share it with your community if you want. And I said I couldn't resist. I have ultimate FOMO. If I ever see something that I think is going to be super popular, I'm always the first to want to try it, so I can kind of put it through its paces and share with you guys what I honestly think. I've been using this for the past week, and I definitely have learned a lot in that time period. That's what I'm going to share with you today, and I will follow it on with a more comprehensive review in, say, like 3 months' time, where we can take a look at the more long-term results that you're going to see. So as I said, launching at the start of May, and the price point is going to be $9 if you're watching this from the US, and $11.70 if you're watching from Canada. It's going to be £8.30 here in the UK, and if you're watching from the European Union, it's going to be €9.70. So super affordable, really well priced, and like I say, if it lives up to the claims that the brand make, then I'm all for it. But I do have some thoughts and opinions. I'm going to first talk about the ingredients, the product itself. I'll then come on to the pros, what I really liked about the product, what I think it delivered. I'll then come on to some cons, so that way everyone has the true full picture and can work out whether this is a sort of product that they actually want to include in their skincare routine. As always, I've listed some timestamps down in the description box below, so if you want to jump to one section of the video over the other, be my guest, those timestamps are all below, as are some links to where you can buy this when it is actually available on sale. So let's start out with what's in it. So in here, you've got a 3% concentration of caffeine, and you've got the 1% concentration of Escin. Now, the Escin is actually relatively new in terms of formulas here in the West. You do see it in some Korean skincare products, but I believe that The Ordinary are the first brand to actually use this here in the West, and that's nice to see. I think we can learn a lot from, other brands, from other cultures, traditions, and a lot of innovation does come out of the Korean skincare market, so it's really nice to see that sort of innovation brought here to the West at a super affordable price point. The Ordinary is certainly out the first brand to use it, but they are the first Western brand to my knowledge. What this actually does is it's really great at supporting collagen production. Now, you still need to use all your other pro-collagen ingredients such as vitamin C, your retinoids. Make sure that you've got those on point. And I'll dig out a recent video I did on how how to boost skin collagen. I'll dig that, I'll link it up there. But what this Escin does is it actually works alongside these to just further enhance that collagen production and to support the collagen that has been newly formed. Make sure that it's working in its maximum capacity to deliver that firmness and elasticity. Some studies into this ingredient also show how good it is at helping to increase radiance and luminosity, particularly when that dull and lackluster skin is as a result of a lack of sleep. So when the skin is fatigued, maybe you haven't got as much rest as you'd hope for. I think we've all been there. This ingredient in studies has shown to increase radiance and luminosity, which is honestly always going to be a win in my book. You've then got the caffeine in a 3% concentration. Now, this isn't the first time The Ordinary have used caffeine. They have their 5% caffeine eye serum, which I think was one of their OG launches. Certainly, it's been around for years. Well, the caffeine in this is actually a slightly different form of caffeine, and it's in a 3% concentration. This, I think, is really good for a couple of reasons that I'm going to come on to later in the video. But caffeine is fantastic because it actually increases the blood flow and circulation. So it's just going to get everything moving. It helps, because it's a vasoconstrictor, it will help reduce puffiness and inflammation in the skin. So if you're somebody, particularly when you wake up, your skin might be quite puffy, you might just have lost some of the definition. This is something I definitely experience on a morning. Then using caffeine can really help to get that back. It sort of turbocharges everything, gets things moving. People use the term wakes things up. I don't think that is a really accurate way of describing it, but it does definitely get things moving in the skin. And using caffeine both helps to invigorate the skin, but more importantly, it can help increase the penetration rate of the other ingredients you put on afterwards. So it might just make the rest of your skincare routine work that little bit more effectively, and that's always going to be a win for me. Extra bang for your buck from the rest of your routine by using a little caffeine to kickstart things off. So let's, in the spirit of positivity, let's talk about the pros first. Well, first of all, the price point. You can't beat that. That is super affordable, and I genuinely have really enjoyed using this product, and for the price point alone, I will keep using it time and time again. It's nice to have that affordability, especially in 2026. Budgets are stretched, so it's nice to have a really affordable, well-formulated serum that we can slot into our routine without breaking the bank. I also really got some great results from this. So instantly on application, you will see a reduction in puffiness, and you'll definitely see some more definition return to the skin. This is something that I really have tried to work on a lot in the past year, especially when I wake up, to try and get lymphatic drainage and blood flow going. Facial massage is great for that, and I really do recommend you do it. But this is a way of like turbocharging your facial massage. This has worked really, really well for me, and it definitely gives the skin just that boost, a little bit of a cheeky glow up, boost to hydration, and it definitely just helps snatch things ever so slightly on a morning. And the results are noticeable, they're visible. You put this on, have a look in the mirror 3 minutes later, and you can see a visible difference. And that for me is a big win because I'm impatient. I like the quick wins, and this definitely delivers it. I also like, though, that it's got those long-term benefits. That Escin is going to work in the long term to help that collagen production and just help that collagen work a little harder for us. The caffeine does also have some great results when it comes to turbocharging the rest of our skincare routine, which I really appreciate too. When it comes to the firming and lifting claims that the brand makes, a lot of this is around that collagen production, but also around the way that caffeine can help tighten everything. It is a little bit of a temporary effect, but caffeine will definitely have some tightening benefits. And as I said, I definitely think there's a space in your skincare routine for some quick wins. Yes, we invest now for long-term payoff, but if we can get some quick wins with ingredients like caffeine, what's not to love about that? I also love the form of caffeine that they've used. This is actually lab-created, lab-synthesized caffeine, which is subtly different to the caffeine that they use in their other serum, the 5% under-eye serum. That one I always found quite drying. If I used it on consecutive days, my under-eye would be quite dry, it'd look quite crepey. Caffeine can be drying if you use the wrong form. The form that they've used in here actually doesn't do that, so it won't dry or dehydrate the skin. This is a big win for me because the only reason that I wasn't using the Ordinary Caffeine eye serum over my whole face was because it would leave me feeling stripped, dry and tight, which I just didn't want. This doesn't do that, and it also is packed full of humectants and hydrators, so it really does nourish and hydrate rather than dehydrate, which is a huge, huge win. Caffeine, if you've used it in the past and it's left you feeling dry and a little crusty, don't worry, you won't have that problem with the form of caffeine in here, and it just works out a little bit better. The 3% concentration, studies show that's what caffeine works best at in terms of concentration, so I love that they've followed the science and really built that into the formula. Last but by no means least on the pros, It's an emulsion. And this is music to my ears because The Ordinary have always had quite greasy formulas. They use a lot of oil-based and squalane-based formulas, which can be quite greasy, difficult to work with. Not this. This is a beautiful emulsion that just sinks straight in, gives you that instant dose of hydration, but it also lets that caffeine get into the skin and become quite effective in a relatively short space of time. This will deliver within about a minute of applying it to the skin. It's not tacky, it's not sticky, and it sinks in like that. So I definitely feel that The Ordinary are learning that what we want in 2026 is emulsions. We want easily absorbed products. We don't want greasy, we don't want sticky. That's what the market's after, and they've definitely delivered it with this. And like I say, it'll make the rest of your skincare that you follow on with work that little bit harder, which in my book is always going to be a benefit. Now, I clearly have been a huge fan of this. Using it for the past week, I've already seen those results, those quick wins, and I'm confident in the long term I'll see that lifting, firming, and collagen production, which, again, I'll update you guys in 3 months' time. But when it comes to the cons, there's a couple of things that I will call out. First and foremost, know that caffeine is a bit of a temporary fix. You know, you're going to see that tightening, you're going to see that definition, which we're all about, but it is a temporary thing. It's going to work for about 24 hours, and then you'll have to repeat the treatment. So bear that in mind. I think for the price point, I'm fine with that. If it was $100 serum, I'd want more longevity. I mean, all for a quick win at an affordable price point, and this is what you're getting with this. But I do just want to caveat, you know, make sure that everyone knows exactly what they're getting. Also, just be aware that you can be sensitive to caffeine. Now, just because maybe you're sensitive to caffeine ingested doesn't mean you're automatically going to be sensitive to it in topical form. It doesn't work like that. But people can be sensitive to the topical application of caffeine. So patch test, just make sure that you do a patch test somewhere subtle, like behind the ear, 24 hours before you use it, just to make sure. For me, no issues at all, and for the vast majority there won't be, but it is just worth calling that out to make sure everyone knows, you know, where they stand and just avoids any unwanted side effects. Now, I will say, when it comes to using this, there's a couple of things I've learned. First and foremost, I think it works best if you use it twice a day. It's going to turbocharge your skincare routine, so why wouldn't you want to use it morning and evening? Use it straight after cleansing. So let it be the first product that you put on the skin after cleansing, because like I say, it's going to turbocharge the rest of your applications. So get it in first, let it get to work, leave it on for like a minute, and then put the rest of your serums. I like to do a little facial massage with it because I think that, again, further enhances the depuffing nature of it, helps with lymphatic drainage. So use it, massage it in. Don't overstress it, just work it in for like a minute. That's definitely where you're going to get the best results. And like I say, twice a day. You don't have to like gradually introduce this because it doesn't have anything particularly sensitizing in it. You can go in twice a day from the start, which is what I did. And I like I say, I definitely got those quick wins. Top tip though, keep it in the fridge. Particularly in those warmer summer months, keep this in the fridge because that's going to further enhance just constricting down all of that puffiness and just help, you know, just turbocharge the results you're going to see from this product. I started keeping it in the fridge. I love the cooling. I definitely find it works even better. It enhances the results by keeping it in the fridge. And that to me is a big win, which, you know, I really like. And I've learned that after a couple of days. I thought, let me try it out. I tried it. And yeah, just keeping it in the fridge makes perfect sense to me. I use it on the face, I use it on the neck, I use it under the eye. I don't feel like you need a separate eye cream if you're using this because it's going to help with dark circles. So you can use this as your under eye treatment as well as the rest of the face. It's like a 2-in-1. And yeah, overall, I've been really, really impressed. Now, it's too early for me to say if in the long term this is going to firm and lift. I'll do that update at the 3-month point. I'll let you know. But initial impressions definitely helps to increase definition. It definitely helps to increase luminosity and radiance. It delivers a burst to hydration. And my skin does feel just a little bit, it wakes things up. It feels like it gets things moving. And it's definitely a really enjoyable product to use and apply. I love the fact that they're bringing new innovative ingredients to the Western market in terms of brand. And the Ordinary do that really well. Definitely for me, for the price point, I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. Ding, ding, ding. Holy grail for the price point. However, I do think the proof of the pudding is going to be in those long-term results, which I will keep you guys up to date with. I just wanted to get ahead of what I'm sure is going to be a lot of hype, a lot of promotion, sponsorship, and paid partnership. We don't do that here on Mad About Skin. We talk from the heart so that you guys can ultimately make the right decision when it comes to your own skincare routines. And in that vein, what are you thinking? Are you going to give this a go? Are you as excited as I was to try this out? Honestly, I haven't been disappointed. Or is this a product that you just don't think you need? You're going to give it a firm pass? Let me know down in the comments section below. And if you've got any questions that you want answered on this, again, let me know in the comments, because I'm here to hopefully provide you guys with the information that you need. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.